Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to episode 385, I believe, if I'm correct, of Freshly Grounded. Welcome, marhaba, bonjour, buongiorno, and we hope you enjoy this fantastic episode, which actually is fantastic, but in German, fantastic. Okay. Listen, we had a great chat, we had a great natter, we spoke about a few different bits and bobs, but most importantly, I want to tell you guys this. If you want more content and you want to get more shows of Freshly Grounded, you want to head over to our Patreon, right? You go to patreon.com/Freshly Grounded and you get a brand new show that is hosted by Sulaiman and Johan. Sulaiman, just give a little wave.
Hello.
No, I just said wave. Okay? No, it's okay. Sulaiman and Johan, great show. So if you want more Freshly Grounded content on a beautiful new set, it's jokes, it's funny, and they actually are synonymous, those two words as well.
Yeah. And it's very vibey.
Yeah,
it's another same word.
Yeah, whatever the young people say is that. So check that out. Also behind the scenes vlogs, and also there's a private community there that's completely segregated. Brothers and sisters talk about finances, tech, entertainment, whatever you want to talk about. So yeah, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Freshly Grounded, and enjoy this episode, enjoy our Patreon, and remember, when all is said and done,
at least you got vibes.
Yeah. All right, and we're on. Assalamu alaikum, Kaya.
Salam.
Ismail, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. How are you doing, Faisal Chowdhury?
Very good. I have to commend you. You suggested Falcon coffee beans for the office, and the coffee tastes great. Not only does it taste great, but why wouldn't it?
This is my thing. I mean, why even bring this up?
Yeah. But why wouldn't it from the angle that you obviously know coffee? But also, if you're going to name your beans Falcon, great name for coffee beans.
That is.
Is they going to be elite?
It doesn't get much better, really.
It's automatically going to be good.
There's not many animals. At one point, it becomes cringe. You can't call it lion coffee. It's like, all right.
Yeah, lion coffee.
But Falcon's got that balance to it.
Falcon's the perfect coffee name.
It could be.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the Falcon beans, yeah?
Yeah.
As much as I love the ones before, I did taste the difference, I didn't even realize you'd change the beans out.
It does taste very good.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, Falcon coffee beans. What other animals could you name coffee beans? You can't go with elephant. I mean, Otta's already got elephant. You don't even know what that is it?
What are you talking about? What'd you call me?
Yeah, sorry, look. Let me give you some South Asian heritage history lesson here.
Yep.
There's a brand called Elephant Atta, which sells a thing called atta, which is actually just flour.
Flour, yeah. I've seen the flour.
To make parathas and roti and stuff.
I'm a big
elephant's taken.
Okay.
Lion is taken by everyone.
Lion's taken, and it just doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
You don't want a lion coffee. You want...
There is someone who does some kind of lion type of coffee.
I don't know. I wouldn't buy it.
I like...
Based on the name, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Falcon's great.
Falcon's good. I would... Maybe like... I like the bird aspect. Owl coffee could be cool.
No, owl's too soft.
But owl's like,
owl is like...
I'm in the corner sipping my coffee and you're an idiot over there. Do you know what I mean? I'm an owl.
Yeah, I don't know. No, owl doesn't give me like masculine vibes.
Fine.
Coffee needs to give masculine vibes, I feel like.
Okay.
I think like... oh, gosh.
Go on.
I'm trying to... I'm doing my time.
Gorilla.
Gorilla coffee. I couldn't think of anything,
You've got no animal at all.
No, I don't know. Let's change the subject. But I do like the name... that American one's got a name like Bulletproof Coffee, is it called?
That's good, yeah.
It's a nice name.
That's good.
Bro, guess what's just happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I lost all my notes. Oh. I didn't have many. I have 3 notes.
My notes are up here, mate.
Yeah.
Until I forget them and they're in my phone.
Okay, I want to talk about one thing that I found really that happened this week, right? That was really cool. So I woke up and Sharib Sunnah guy had shared a story, right? And on Instagram, and it was a story of a doctor who basically filmed his screen when he was analyzing an X-ray of some lungs. Yeah, he was a pulmonologist. He was analyzing an X-ray of some lungs, and basically what the doctor was saying is, I've got 20 years experience in analyzing in like my field, and he's a consultant doctor as well, so he's like top of his field, 20 years, big in the game, BNOC of a doctor. And he's like, it's taking me this long to get to the point where I can look at a picture like this of lungs, and I can actually diagnose that someone's got, for example, I don't know what he said in the actual video, but for example, what he can diagnose is if someone's got pneumonia and stuff like that from the lungs.
Yeah.
He's like, it's taking me 20 years. And he goes, now with AI, even though I've got 20 years of research, with AI, instantly it's picked up that diagnosis. And he's like, that's mad, like, am I losing my job? Anyway, so Sharib shares that, and I'm listening to the voice, I'm like, That's my doctor.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Dr. Fawzy.
Okay.
And so if anyone hardcore listeners of Freshly Grounded will remember about 7 months ago, we had Dr. Fawzy Kataranji on the podcast after I basically went through like the worst spell of asthma in about 15, 20 years. I couldn't get through a sentence without running out of breath. I was on like, whatever that mask thing is called. They were trying out loads of different medications. I was in and out of hospital. Thank you to Kaya actually, I was like, you're going to the hospital, and like drove me to the hospital and stuff like that. And like for this period of time, I stopped doing Freshly Grounded episodes because I just couldn't get through. Anyway, like obviously Allah is the one who provides, and Allah uses people as tools, but like Allah provided me Dr. Fawzy, and he was like just the most incredible doctor. And I explained all my issues to him, and he basically drew a drawing for me, and it was just like an amazing doctor. He explained what's happening in my body. He was like, look, the feeling that you're feeling, this thing right here, this is becoming tighter, and you need to basically open that up so that you can like get more oxygen in and stuff like that. And I finally understood what was happening. And he was like, look, normally they would give you like, they'd put you on this, then they'd put you on that, but look, I know that you need this, and so I'm going to put you on this. And in the UK, to get to that level where they would give you this particular medicine or inhaler, you have to go through so many hoops, but he like was able to give that. So anyway, just incredible, give me so much attention, and we became friends. And then he ended up coming on the podcast, and we would go out for dinner. And then I was saying, like, I was basically coaching him a little bit on creating content, because he was like, I want to like get my name out there and stuff. And he's like experienced in the field, and he's one of the rare doctors, I suppose, in that field that's like actually, he's actually made it in that sense. Like he's got the experience, he's got the knowledge, and so now it's a good time for him to start teaching it. And so when I saw that video, I was like, that's Dr. Fawzy. And I messaged him straight away. I was like, you just got shared by a page that's got 2.7 million followers. But Shaib posted that, like reposted it from an account that has another 2.5 million followers. And then it also got posted by a page today that got 1.9 million followers. And Dr. Fawzy has not got a lot of a following. It's being posted by all these AI pages. And I said to him, I messaged Dr. Fawzy and I said, I'm so proud of you. Like you stuck to the content, and like, you got content performing really well. So,
and he was like, who are you?
yeah. And then, he messaged me. He was like, I really appreciate that. And like, I didn't even know that it was going viral and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I'm not bad, man. But I did see, you're right. He had like a little uptick in his content coming through after he met with you. So,
yeah,
it's nice to see him continue that.
Yeah.
On this, because there's a lot of debate about this in my industry as well, AI in general, like, is it taking people's jobs? I've got a feeling with doctors, because if we're being real, a lot of doctors will Google your symptoms in front of you. Sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's kind of been happening already anyway for years. Yeah. I feel like AI is going to take that a step further. But I feel what's going to happen is the human element is still going to be there, but that might move up like a little echelon to like a bit more expensive. And then the AI will like deal with most people's like common cold
That's
stuff.
exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, but if you want to see a doctor, you pay an extra, £30 or something like that. I'm talking about, globally here, not necessarily NHS. You pay a little bit extra. You see a human doctor, and he can actually consult you a bit.
Well, what it does is it weeds out like the great doctors. Because a great doctor is not someone who just has the knowledge. It's someone who can implement and has a great character. Yeah. Someone like Dr. Fawzy who holds your hand and walks you through your issue and helps you to the end and recommends you need to go to a specialist for this. And that is what the AI is not going to be able to do. But a little diagnosis here and there. Yeah. Like if you put symptoms together and it can like give you whatever, you're right. I think like AI will do that. But like with all industries, I don't think AI is going to replace. It's going to like make the competition like you have to be that much better. It changes and like AI is not going to necessarily be able to do surgery anytime soon. And so, it maybe like the job of the GP becomes like less demand for that, and there's more demand for like surgery. So the people who win at the end are us, the patients, because we get better surgeons, right? So go AI.
The end game is we win. Yeah. It's interesting, man. There's a lot of not just doctors now. We're talking about it, like multiple industries now. I think a lot of it is going to be dependent on just like how far us as consumers do want to take it. Like, do we want to go into a GP and just talk to a robot and get it? And sometimes you do want that. Sometimes I know I've got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. I just want an antibiotic. I can do that. But other times you're going to want the doctor. So I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to it's not a case of can AI do it. I think AI can do a lot of like rules-based stuff. Someone comes in, their symptoms are struggling to breathe. This. It's 99%. This is the issue.
Yeah,
the AI could probably do it, but it's a case of consumers. Are they going to actually want that and push that, or are they going to just like naturally not go down that route?
Well, I think they will. It's to some capacity want that, because like people just want Speed.
For example, I'll push back on that.
And
For
not the
example,
drug.
yeah. For example, chatbots, again, been around for ages. And they've been pretty good. I don't think AI is really... It has improved chatbots, but it's like... They've already been pretty half decent, yeah?
Yeah.
But most of the time, you're talking to a chatbot, and she's like, give me a human. I want a human.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to happen in real life as well. It's like, I know that AI is good. It can give me most what I want, but I do just want to deal with someone.
I think it'll be on a base level. It'll be like prescription stuff. Like, look,
Yeah.
right now you need a prescription to get some basic meds that you just know that you need. And so like maybe AI can like just like speed up that process. But then again, there's a problem of like if something is behind a prescription, maybe there's a reason and it's like not safe and some people can just like game the system. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the medical field and AI. But there's obviously the medical field is probably like one of the hottest fields that's going to be interesting in terms of AI and like is going to really AI is really going to help accelerate that field and it's going to be exciting for everyone involved, like or most importantly for the patient, right?
Yeah.
Obviously AI and the medical field is going to be a real great marriage, or is going whether it's going to be a great marriage or not is a different question. But I suppose like
It'll
it's
be
definitely going to be
marriage
connected.
anyway.
Yeah. They'll be
Some
married.
sort of marriage will happen.
Someone's getting married, bro.
Happiness doesn't come into it.
Yeah. But Dr. Fawzy, I was proud of him for a few reasons. A, because like I just I know that in a world full of a lot of people who are making noise on social media, it's hard to weed out who's legit.
Yeah.
And I know he's legit. A, because like I've lived it. I've like experienced being his patient. But also like, and he's grafted through his education. He's got great accolades. And he's taught, you know, what he does in pulmonology and stuff like that. And it's nice to see someone who's actually got actual, you know, validity in what they do, putting their message out on social and actually helping people. So that's one reason. The other is just he's a good guy, bro. Like, and he's so vocal about the genocide that's happening in Palestine. Always like every day on his stories where you just see stuff about Palestine and again, bro, like it's always amazing to see when someone is like, especially they outspoken on, they stood on the right side of history. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Like he's Muslim, he's Syrian, he's a human, and anyone who's human should be able to see that there's genocide taking place. Yes. And I think what's nice though is you're also seeing it like. For some reason, I feel like in the last week alone, bro, there's been a shift in like mainstream celebrities going, you know what? There's a genocide happening. And so I know you wanted to comment something on this, but I just wanted to name a few, right? I've mentioned a few times on this podcast over the past few weeks, Paul Graham, like I've quoted him and stuff, the guy who owns Y Combinator. But, you know, he keeps coming up on my feed, A, because I follow business, a lot of business stuff. So naturally the algorithm is going to send him to me. And then secondly, because I follow a lot of Muslims and so the algorithms, so you would think, oh, well, the algorithm is not going to send him to you because you follow Muslims. But because he speaks quite a lot about Palestine, the algorithm has been sending him to me. And someone who works in not just works in the tech space in the US, he's literally owns probably the most prominent and well-known tech investment, you know, company, Combinator in the US, in the world, where he's invested in so many companies who like probably have like Jewish founders and stuff like that. And he's still very outspoken about like there's children in Palestine who are going starving, who are being bombed, who are, you know, being killed. And the fact that he's being outspoken about it, despite the fact that he, I suppose like, it kind of like means a lot, right? Because of like where he's at and stuff like that. So Paul Graham was one of those guys. And then also there's this children's YouTuber who everyone will know who I'm talking about. The only reason I'm not mentioning her name is because I don't want people to search her and then like start listening to music and stuff. Yeah. But she's like almost every other post, bro, is about Palestine. And again, has so much to lose, but like she's stood on the right side of history in that sense, where it's like, you know, there'll be a lot of people who are probably being made aware of the Palestine cause because of her stuff. People who aren't in or in like the Muslim, you know, because there's a lot of Muslims like who are speaking like about it like all day, every day. Smile to Jannah. There's a guy who I follow who I met like previously on Instagram. I don't think he's like that like necessarily big like in terms of following, but like he puts out a lot of like information about Palestine, which is his username is like Rudolph. I don't know if you know him. He's like a guy, he's like a postman and like great guy, nice guy. I met him a few times in the UK, but he posts a lot. So I see a lot of like updates from him. So I like get a lot of information from like just his updates and stuff. But someone like this YouTuber who's like one of the biggest children's YouTubers, non-Muslim, in theory, doesn't have to highlight it and is talking about it all the time. She's probably opened up a lot of people's eyes to the Palestinian cause. And then, of course, just off air, you were mentioning Theo Von, right?
Yeah. So Theo Von, and these are like massive guys with huge audiences. And what I like about it is that their audiences they're not necessarily anything to do with politics or anything. They're just like, it's comedy, right? So it's a very important.
Again, but he's in an industry where it's like not
basically Hollywood.
He probably has a lot to risk or lose, but he's like, I don't care. But the guy's like, he's like it must be in some capacity like. He's boys with people who are boys with the people at the top of the top of the top.
I imagine you have to be.
Do you know what I mean?
At that point,
so,
you're in showbiz at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right? It may be a podcast, but he does shows and this and that. Like it's all very intermixed there.
By the way, did you see? So explain the other one thing, but then what I was going to say to you is, did you see the comments, the replies to him?
No, I haven't.
Okay. But you explain it first. Then
so the Theo Von thing is big. Paul Graham thing is big. Another founder of Replit, which I use to build apps and stuff. His name. Amjad Masad, right? He's Jordanian brother, but he's in San Francisco, so it's all in that area. Literally, like geographically, he's there. But also, his tech companies like raised funding from there and stuff like that. So he's very much in that mix, but extremely very vocal about the genocide, things like this, right? And he gets a lot of pushback on Twitter. People like saying, I'm uninstalling your app now. He's
really?
Like, yeah, cool, see you later, type of thing.
Yeah, because in the tech, I think the two biggest spaces, I mean, I might be oblivious here, but I feel like the two biggest spaces where it would be, you'd get a lot of pushback would be the tech game, because there's so much tech is like
a lot of these investment firms
like Zionists and stuff, right?
Exactly.
And then there's tech, and then there's showbiz, Hollywood media,
So basically, you're right. I think those are the top two, right? So this is really important that these people are speaking out and taking to that audience, because when a Muslim talking about it, those guys on that side of the fence, they can
dismiss it.
Yeah, they may have that's their talking point, not our talking point. Yeah. But when guys on their side of the fence start talking about it, now it's like, it's not like a taboo to talk about it, and maybe there is some validity to this argument, and it's not just like someone else's argument. So it's very, very important.
So the comments on Theo Von's video, bro, like, is bad, man.
Really?
Yeah, bro. It's like people like, bro, like, basically, like, he was getting a lot of hate. But
you know what? Yeah, you know this whole Gary Lineker thing as well.
Yeah, Gary Lineker.
Is another example. What I love now is that we're getting into this era of, and it kind of happened with like Andy Gray and stuff way back when, if you remember. You remember Andy Gray and.
You're going to talk about the fact that the pendulum swinging the other way. Okay.
Right. So when that happened, they got in some hot water.
So if I remember correctly, Andy Gray, he got in hot water because he made
some sexist comments
about a female lineswoman.
Yes.
Okay. And
who was his co-host?
Andy Gray and
they're gonna kill us.
Oh no.
It's a while ago.
Andy, if you're listening, we're so sorry. We don't remember
Andy Gray and.
But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, those two guys.
And they'll be in, aren't they?
Yeah. So they got in hot water, and I'm not defending what they said or anything like that, but they got in hot water. But there was an alternative in the Muslim world for them to come and continue their work. And they did for like, whether it's 15 years.
I think they're still there.
Still there, right? Gary Lineker, I think I imagine he's going to follow a similar route.
Going to be in or something.
I imagine so. And so I think
he's probably already got calls.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a little email here and there.
Yeah, cold email. A little email from a .qr email address. Is that Qatar's email?
There you go. So
what is Qatar's domain ending?
Yeah, it's QR. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, point being, I think I like the fact that we're building spaces now where you don't have to be totally cancelled if you're going against the Hollywood, the Zionist thing.
Yeah,
we've got our space. So, and I read a very interesting article the other day about Muslims building this kind of like infrastructure, right? There's a lot of like Muslim businesses, halal business, which is great. This is a person's argument, right? But he said we need to build infrastructure. So media companies like Freshly Grounded, where we can actually house businesses, not just be like a burger joint, not just be like a fried chicken joint, not just be a podcast, but actually like be a media company where, again, we can absorb people from elsewhere who are want to be aligned with us essentially, and have a infrastructure, not just one thing. It's an infrastructure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the other thing actually. It's just made me think about. It's like, I only mentioned him because it came up on my feed recently, is that Smile Sujana posted that his content is now banned officially in India. And what makes it interesting on YouTube, and what makes it interesting is that, okay, let's say, for example, someone like YouTube starts banning content from like the Muslims and stuff, like when they talk about Palestine. But then when someone like Theo Von speaks about it, who's one of the biggest creators, then they have to go,
Yeah.
it's not in our best interest to cancel this guy. But then it's like, then we can't cancel others. So actually, it does potentially help like get that thing out until, like you said, like we start building that infrastructure where there is a legit alternative. But I guess that's what people like Rumble try and do is create. And Rumble did, I guess, a good job. But I mean, I never went onto Rumble, so it takes a lot.
But that kind of stuff, where it's like an alternative to YouTube that is gonna, So for example, that article I read just like that I mentioned to you, it was on Medium.
Okay.
Right, and he was quite vocal about design is this and design is that, and we've got to do this, we've got to do that. And I was kind of shocked that it was being like published on Medium. Right, it's like I imagine when their admins see it, they might even ban the article. Right,
Medium's not like open source.
I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure, but that's my
I guess it's not if it's cool.
My visceral reaction to these things is, you're going to probably get
right.
If it's on Twitter, if it's on wherever it's going to be, that's probably going to get you a ban.
Sure.
Right? That's kind of the problem, right? We need our own spaces where we can talk about the almost issues in a place where we're not going to risk getting banned.
Or just like getting like, or getting like just completely
shadow
banned from the algorithm, right?
So again, like the beIN Sports thing, that's infrastructure that's built that can reach the world still.
Yeah.
So it's not like we don't want to build an echo chamber. We just want to build infrastructure where we can have our say.
I don't even know what an echo chamber is.
Well, now you do. It's where you're in a chamber that echoes.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like when you're like,
so if you're in an echo chamber,
yeah, what is it?
Let's say we weren't publishing Fresh Ground on YouTube.
Okay.
We weren't so you and me talking here is like an echo chamber. We might be showing good ideas.
Oh, but no one hears it.
Outside this room, no one's hearing
Fine.
it. Yeah. The fact we're publishing, it gets out to the world.
Fine. We're the anti-echo chamber.
That's right. We're the loudspeaker chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So that's what we need to build, inshallah.
So yeah. Anyway, the Gary Lineker thing is a very prominent thing as well. Like the kind of point was that there seems to be a wave of just people like opening their eyes.
We've gone past the tipping point. Yeah, the Zionist tipping point where they were trying to stop people getting to, they've lost it. Yeah. There's too much evidence.
There's too many children dying every single day.
I hate them.
I mean,
but yeah, it's gone past the point of no return for them, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah. So they've lost the narrative. It's spilled over. You can't put that back in the bottle.
No. Speaking of celebrities who are vocal about Palestine, Moeen Ali, who's always been like I remember in my I say childhood, but I spoke to him about this the other day. I was like, I remember that time that you were all over the news because you were wearing that Palestine wristband. He was like, oh yeah, 2014. I was like, oh, because I remember being a kid and seeing it on Sky News. I was living at my mom's house, but 2014, I would have been. How long ago was 2014? 11 years. So I wasn't even a kid. I was 19.
Yeah.
Or 20. So I wasn't even a kid.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even. Yeah. But anyway, so anyway, even 2014, he was. Anyone who doesn't remember, do you guys remember the whole Moeen Ali thing on the news?
Different
you guys, how old were you guys in 2014?
14.
You're 14. That's easy maths for you.
Yeah.
1999.
Oh, how old were you, Musa? 5.
Hold on. When were you born? 2009. He was born.
You know when Fresh Uganda started, Musa? Yeah, you were. Gosh, it was like almost 9 years ago.
We could do the math. Hold on. 2009.
9 years ago. So
he was 8 years old.
You were 8 years old when Fresh Uganda started.
That's insane.
Wow.
I feel very old.
You are still in diapers, man. Wow.
That is mad. Anyone born in 2000?
That's mad because Musa said yesterday to me that like he's seen Fresh Uganda like episodes and clips and stuff like that, right? Which is interesting because that means like you've seen it, but not since the beginning. Like you like that's a new wave of audience that you caught as they got older. Because obviously when you're 8 years old, you had no idea what Fresh Uganda was.
Yeah. Were you?
Move the mic closer to your mouth.
Were you born here or in the UK?
I was born in the UK.
But he's not from here.
I know he's not from here.
Oh.
Some people are born here though.
No, he doesn't live here.
Oh, you don't live here?
Yeah, he doesn't live here.
You're doing work experience on holiday?
He came and worked. He came to Dubai for work experience for Fresh Uganda.
No way.
Yeah.
That's the best work experience ever.
Yeah.
You did your work experience in Dubai. So you go back to London and your friends are at like Tesco.
Yeah, probably.
That's All right.
That's how Omar did his work experience in Iceland.
What?
Yeah, Iceland. As in as in the
Oh.
restaurant. As in, not the restaurant. As in the supermarket.
Okay, first
Yeah.
of all, like the island.
No, the supermarket.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick.
So like some people doing it in Iceland on their local high street.
Yeah.
And you're doing it in Dubai.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the world's greatest media company.
Yeah, man. Inshallah. Wow, I didn't. I thought you lived here.
Nah.
That's insane. Man's catching the A380 home tonight.
Yeah, the A380. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I had a question for you, but it doesn't make sense now. But my question, what I wanted it to be, was
Before you ruined it by not living
thanks,
here.
Thanks a lot, non-resident.
Non-resident.
What I'm interested in,
Yeah.
I know we come up on algorithms in the UK. So if you buy a phone in UK or like UK Instagram, UK TikTok,
Yeah.
which is a thing,
Okay.
we come up.
Okay. I didn't know
wonder
that.
if
I
that-
guess so. That makes sense.
Yeah, because like for example, if you want to launch an ad on TikTok, if your phone has been purchased here in UAE, I can't launch an ad in UK. It starts here in UAE.
No, it's based on your SIM.
That's it. Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
on
it.
SIM, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've dabbled in marketing.
Yeah. Little technical difference there. But yeah, you're right. So I was wondering, are we coming up with algorithms here?
There's a hack for that, by the way. Sorry.
Go on. What's the hack?
No.
Oh no,
you still
no,
have-
He's right there, drop me.
Cackle your tongue. Come on, Len. Tell everyone how. No. So you still. No. So basically, you still have to have the SIM. Yeah, but like if, for example, like for in my phone, I have a dual SIM. Yeah, and you wouldn't know what that is, Kaya. Yeah, but I've got two SIMs, so a Dubai SIM and a UK SIM.
Yeah.
But if I still post on TikTok right now and try run an at a boost from TikTok,
Yeah.
it will still, even if I just use my UK SIM and turn my Dubai SIM off, it still will know that I'm in Dubai and only let me boost it in UAE. Yeah.
Is that because the phone was purchased here?
No, it's because I'm here, I guess. But there's a way of doing it where you turn off your Dubai SIM, so you've only got UK SIM in there,
Yeah.
and then you put on VPN as if you're in UK. So if you do the two together, then it will assume you're in the UK and you could be on a boost in UK. So for you, if you do want to boost in UK, turn your Dubai SIM off for a second, put on VPN in UK and use your UK SIM. So now you've got a UK SIM and UK location, and then it does boost in UK.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, like if you want to run a boost in France, so like we had like a big audience in France. So if I got a French SIM, then I put that in my phone in Dubai, and then I put on the French VPN, then I can run a boost in France.
Okay, that is a good hack.
It is a good hack. You just have to be a little patient for it. We've lost completely where we're going with the conversation, which is about Moeen Ali.
Yeah, we'll go back to that.
Okay, fine.
But I think we'll go. Yeah, let's go back to that now.
No, you say something
Thanks a
about
lot.
TikTok running a boost, blah blah blah, social media. No, you said we come up on algorithms.
I was just curious to see have we like are we coming up on UAE algorithms basically and GCC algorithms?
Good question. Yeah.
And I don't know that, and that's bugging me. So if you're watching from the GCC right now on YouTube, or if this is real, if this makes it into the reels, just comment down below that you are
Unlikely.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it does, but not as much.
No, we do. I was saying you making it to real is unlikely.
Yeah, no, this is not real.
But the for sure we do, because I've noticed like an uplift in our, even if you look at our stats, like we've had uplift in UAE audience and stuff. But that could also be because so many people from the UK are moving to UAE, bro. Like our audience is completely. Our audience is like
That's
90.
such a thing, bro.
Yeah.
People like I meet people at football like, oh yeah, I know the podcast, and they've just come from the UK.
Yeah.
So now they're here.
Bro, our audience is like 90% British.
Yeah.
And then like the rest of it is like US, Canada, and then like Indonesia.
Do you know who else is from near Indonesia? Moeen Ali. Go.
There you go. Yeah. But one thing I want to say is that this was years ago, but I remember one time like a big moment for me was when somebody was like DM'd us and they were like, yo man, like I'm on holiday they were like in Indonesia or Malaysia. They're like, I'm on holiday in, let's say, Indonesia. And I walked in this barber shop to get a haircut and they had freshly grounded on.
Oh, that's sick.
I was like, no way. This is like early days of SG as well. Like I was like, yo, that is pretty
That's
neat,
amazing,
man.
isn't it?
Pretty neat.
Pretty
So sending them a copyright strike.
Yeah, these and this is.
Exactly. All right, so Moeen Ali. The whole point I was going to say is that I played paddle with him this week.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was really interesting playing paddle with someone who's a professional athlete.
This is my question I had in my notes.
Yeah, what's it like playing paddle with a... Yeah, living you and I think the same.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give you a little bit of indication, because you're never going to play with a professional athlete. Yeah, no, joking. I'm going to give you an indication of what it was like, because there's two main differences here. Playing paddle with a non-professional athlete and playing paddle with an athlete that I noticed. No matter how good somebody is, because he is good at paddle, but it's not like he's like world champion paddle player. He's world champion cricket player.
Yeah.
But there was two things that I noticed. One is reaction speed, the speed reaction, but his reaction to speed. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Speed to react.
Yeah. Basically, you can see he's an athlete in that when for a normal person, when the ball is coming at you that fast, if someone's like smashed it, you like panic or you miss it or you like maybe just get and you block it and you can't control the shot because it's just like coming at you so fast. With him, it was like he just has fast twitch muscle, bro. He's an athlete, and so you could just tell that movement in him where there was never a ball that was coming too fast or too weird of an angle for him to attempt to make it. I think you might want to put a power lead in there. So that was one thing I noticed, his reaction. Like you could just tell this is the reaction of a professional athlete. The second thing I noticed is his failure to give up. The guy does not give up. So in paddle, there's a lot of shots. Have you ever played paddle, Musa?
Nah, I want to. Though. I've seen it like all over TikTok and stuff.
Bro, why you're here till the 1st of June, right?
Till Monday. I don't know what the date is for Monday. Next Monday.
Yeah, it's about
The 27th, 28th, okay. On Monday is that 27th, I think.
yeah.
Anyway, we should try and get a game in. So, bro, okay, so in paddle, bro, Sulaiman will relate to this because he's the only other paddle player here in this room. You know when you got when there's sometimes there's a ball, like the opponent hits the ball and it's like over there and you just think, I'm not making that. And so like you just don't even try. Yeah. And no matter how many times you play and how good you get, there always does get that moment. It's kind of like when you're a goalie in football and you're like, the ball is, it's like, I'm not saving that. And so you kind of don't even try. And but the difference between like me and Moeen Ali, which is only one difference.
I couldn't separate my head.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
The one difference between us in terms of athleticism is that he just doesn't give up. Like no matter how awkward the ball seems, no matter how much it seems like there's no like the ball. For example, in paddle, when someone hits the ball really low, it's really difficult to then get that and then get it over. So you think it's so low, I'm missing that. His brain doesn't allow him to not try it, or his brain does not allow him to quit. He does not give up. And bro, every time he got it as well. So like it's mad low, it's mad like he'd have to stretch it and you think there's no way he's getting that. And he'd not only would he get it, but he'd dip it up and he'd get it back over. And I thought that shows, it's not that he wasn't skilled, he was very skilled, but it just shows that how much of it also is not giving up. Yeah. And that's probably a good metaphor for life as well. Like so many times you think, you know what, the probability of me getting that job, the probability of me becoming successful in that business or whatever, when you think the probability is low, you think, what's the point? He didn't have the what's the point mentality. He was like, if it's my shot, I'm going to try and make it. And 99% of the time he made it. Yeah.
Two things here. One, it does annoy me sometimes when I'm playing my non-professional friends. Yeah. Right. Someone's like, they've made the effort to come. They got their boots on. They're on the pitch, and it's like, bro, you can just see you're not giving 100. Yeah. You ain't got to be good, but just give it 100, man.
Give the effort. Yeah.
Yeah. You could be the worst player on the pitch, but if you're giving 100, everyone respects you. Yeah. You know what? You're trying hard. You're doing it. No one's gonna say anything to you. So. But you can actually be quite good. But if I can see you're just giving it like 80%, it's very frustrating to see. So I think like. We can learn from, again, life lessons here. If you've got your boots on, if you're on the pitch, if your kit is on, don't like give it 80. This is the time to give it 100. Whether you think it's going to work or not, whether you think you're good enough for this thing or not, you just take it.
I think so.
Yeah, go on.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you. I'm from Amazon. I'm here in front of the block.
Can you come to the main reception, please? Sorry about that. A delivery guy called. Fine. I didn't mean to be so rude to you on the podcast, Kaya. Okay. I apologize. My sincere apologies. We are in a very awkward building where if I miss a delivery guy, literally, it's hell.
I can hear it.
I can hear him outside. Yeah. Well, that's good he came to the door. So anyway, but you were making a point about if you're going to turn up.
Yeah, if you've turned up. These are frustrating. You've turned up.
What you were saying, what you were saying is if you're... Hi. Sorry. Thank you. That's very kind of you. If you're going to turn up
turn up. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it.
But bring it over. Let's see what it is. I can't even remember.
No,
I
it's
ordered something
interrupted
for
me.
the
You
office.
might as well see what it
yeah,
is.
let's see what we ordered for Amazon. Thank you. What do you think it is?
Oh, this must be the gift for
It's
me
something
now.
for the office. Yeah, maybe. Okay.
I thought you knew what it was.
Bro, do you know what? I can't remember.
Seems heavy.
It does seem heavy. I bet it's something like so boring. You know what we're gonna need? We're gonna need a knife.
Do you have a knife? Scissors?
Yeah, we have something. Oh wow, tool drawer.
Or you just use your raw gorilla
Yeah.
strength, falcon strength.
Oh, bro, do you know what these are?
Oh, the
Remember?
stages.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
She's
So,
like a
do you
live
want to
staging.
give? Do you want to give the context to the audience about?
Yeah.
what-
So the chairs.
So if you can tell.
Yeah. As you can see or not see, the chairs we're sitting on are awkward height. Like they're not. I kind of feel like a 4-year-old at my dinner table.
Yeah. And every single guest who's come to Restaurant so far on this new set has commented on it.
Yeah, and it's a little bit
The chair's a bit too low for the table.
slightly.
And so we kind of like.
this is a very grand table.
Yeah.
and it needs the chairs to be a little more grander.
So we tried everything. We tried buying new chairs, and like they're just stupid expensive. And then we were like, these chairs are comfortable with the right chairs. Is there like something we can buy? And so apparently these platforms, the
Stilettos.
chairs are. Yeah,
Hold
we got stilettos for the chairs. Let's try it on the episode.
Oh wait, you cannot. Oh, you can't do it. Yeah,
Alright.
Probably that one is enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Should we try it? Bro,
Yeah.
I thought I ordered.
But you know what? It's gonna be. Hold on.
Let's try it.
I don't. Is that a good idea? Because 1, 2, 3. We need 5 per chair. Yeah.
I thought you needed 4 per chair.
No.
Gosh, all right. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but let's try one.
It's enough for 2,
4,
of these.
5. Yeah, let's try it on the episode. If people.
What's that one? Oh.
Bad podcasting 101.
We're literally putting a set together as we podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna. Give me how many have we got here? I need 5. 1, 2,
Have you got enough?
3. Yeah. Okay.
Bro, I feel scared to sit on it. I'm sitting on plastic basically. Oh, bro, it's better though. Oh my gosh, it's fixed the problem.
But look, the side's coming off.
You just gotta not move though. Right. Oh my god. First of all, that's fixed the height issue. Yeah. I actually have to lower my chair now. Really? Bro, I'm. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard one to convince guests though. Like, look,
Yeah, it's
you
good.
got some shoes on your
It is the
chair.
right height. It is the right height.
Yeah, we'll wear it for now.
But I feel like I'm podcasting on a tightrope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got if you get a slightly heavier guest.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, there's just some plastic.
I just feel like one might slip from underneath me. But the
see.
height is right,
The height is perfect.
as they say.
Exactly. Bro. And at the end of the day,
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was
How about his multi-tool? That's not
highly dangerous. Are we even will YouTube ban us? Or even have it on there? This guy's got some sort of hammer.
Oh, the height is amazing.
It is good, isn't it? I feel more confident.
It's
now.
hard to tell guests are like, look, you can sit here, but you can't move.
Yeah, you can't. It's going to be okay. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Maybe for
Fine.
us, it's a good thing.
We should find some flow in this damn episode.
Yeah. Playing sports with other sports people are usually good at other sports.
Yes.
And I find that interesting. You said fast twitch muscle.
Yes.
And I think that's the actual scientific name, fast twitch.
Yep.
Or, pseudo-scientific. For example, I
Pro
remember
science.
watching way back in the day, the Arsenal team, and they'd all be good at ping pong. All of them be sick at ping pong. And it was like, they're good at ping pong because they're good at football.
Right.
Because hand-eye coordination, so that just plays a role. And then also other basically any ball game. Any ball game, they're very, very, very good at it. I just find it interesting.
Makes sense. One other trait the only other professional athlete I know at that level is probably Dan Juma. I don't have that many professional athlete friends I'm that
He was
close
good
to
at
that play.
he was good at go-karting. Did he come second at go-karting?
Well, here's the thing with him is
Which is hand-eye
he's
coordination.
extremely competitive.
Yeah.
So that's another trait that I think is in professional athletes. Like a level of competitiveness that I just haven't ever seen before.
Yeah.
Like unwilling to, like obsessively competitive.
This kind of it goes into what I said before about the whole like you're here, you're giving 80%. I think what's lacking there is competitiveness.
Yeah.
If you're on the pitch, bro, and you could even a friendly game, like every Sunday I play a friendly game of football, and it's friendly, but we get on the pitch, you do feel like, you know what, come on.
I don't know.
Come on, lads. You
I don't get that feeling.
All right, maybe I think you must do that.
I'm
A
not
paddle
competitive.
you must.
Nah, I'm not competitive.
Really?
Actually, maybe sometimes paddle.
No,
Maybe,
you
but-
do, you do.
That surprised me.
Fine,
that you say
yeah,
that.
yeah, fine.
You're competitive in other areas.
I'm not
like-
competitive in football or most sport. Paddle for some reason it has drawn out.
No,
but
yeah,
generally in
yeah.
sport, I'm not actually that competitive. I'm quite happy to like be the side man when it comes to sports. Do you know where that's come from? I'm gonna put it out here. I'm gonna put him on a. What's the sentence I'm looking for?
Put him on blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him on blast.
Okay.
Onili,
Okay.
who's been my best friend for the last 16 years,
Oh, Derek.
he's very competitive, and he'll admit that. And I realized, and so like everything I did, I would do with him, like sports. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, you know, like how in a relationship you'd fire and water. I was like, okay, he's really competitive, and he's taking up that competitive space, and so I'm gonna fall back here.
Right.
And I'm fine to fall back. So like I've become kind of used to it in that way because I'm like so used to being around him for a lot of sports. I'm like, all right, he's competitive. Let me let him be competitive. And then like, you know, winning is important to him, and like, you know, like becoming obsessed with something. And so that's not that important to me. So like whereas, and then he does that with me on other things. Like if I'm like antsy about, you know, how something comes across, something like that, and he won't care as much. So
Yeah.
I think maybe a little bit has come from that. I just like don't care for competitiveness more than I care about like everyone enjoying it or something.
Fine. I'm
I'm a
not-
worse.
Yeah. No. As long as you can as long as you can tap into like, let me perform my best. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And if anything, it could have benefits because I'm the opposite. I get very competitive,
Yeah.
and that can sometimes.
I've
like,
seen you.
Yeah, it can
I've seen you on the
sometimes.
pitch.
It can sometimes, you know, it's not good for your character. Sometimes, if you're being too competitive, you can have some bad traits come out. So
Yeah, but
something.
we all have bad traits, and we have to be able to learn to control them. Because you're right. Because I find that as well, which is this. You know, no one is perfect. Everyone has bad traits, and it's horrible when you let those traits win sometimes because you're like, oh, like I'm doing myself a disservice here. I hate that when that comes out. And do you know when that comes out for me? It came out one time in Padel actually. Okay. I was playing Padel with actually your brothers, all three of your brothers. Okay. I was playing with Idris, Haroon, and Mohammed. And there's 5 of us, and there's 4 man. And I hate that when it comes to Padel because it means that someone has to not play. Like every other game, someone's off. And so I have 2 options. I either say I'm not coming off, or I play the team sport. And I'm like, all right, I'll come off. Yeah. And so I came off, yeah. And then Idris, out of the 4 brothers, Idris is the one I'm closest to. I've known him like 11 years and 12 years. And then I was like, so I came off and then I went back on and I said to Idris, I was like, bro, I hate it here. I was like, I was like, what? And I was like, bro, I wish I never came. But my bad side came out. I was like, bro, I could be sleeping right now and I've come to sit and watch 4 man play a bat and ball. Like I was getting, and my bad character was going out. Yeah. And he was like, and he's like, you know how I was about Only and me? Like, he's like, bro, bless him. He was like, bro, he goes, don't like miss a game. I'm gonna come off. And then I feel bad. I'm like, no, bro, it's fine. I just had to express it to someone. And I felt safe. I felt like you were my safe space, bro. Next game, he's like, boys, I need to come off. I'm like, you're not coming off. He's like, no, genuinely, like I'm getting a bit pain in my leg or whatever, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I felt so nervous. Like, you know, and so my bad character came out, bro. I let my impatience and my frustration of it's because if I can, I like to be in bed at 9 p.m. So it's now I've missed my bedtime to play sport with the boys, and I'm sitting on the bench watching man play, and my it's just like why am I just watching you? And then that's why I get angry at who organise it. I'm like, why are you organising paddle with 5 people? It's a 4-man sport. Why is that? why do you not? So then I realised like my bad character's coming out here, and I don't want that to happen again. So the next time paddle got arranged with 5 man, I said, look, I've got another opportunity to play. I'm going to play with these brothers. You man enjoy 4 man. Everyone gets to play. And then I saved my Izzat a little bit because that day I think Idris just probably thought, wow, Faisal's a bit of a diva man.
I love that Idris, beautiful brother, man.
Yeah,
and, I can imagine him like trying to be the calmness.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but so I also experienced
it happens,
that,
bro.
yeah.
And you know, I'll mention it because I'm not mentioning the names. You don't know who they are, but played on Thursday as well. 2 good brothers along back, but again, a little bit of a clash, and then suddenly it's like, oh, you know, the handbags come out a little bit.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not good.
It's not worth it.
But at the end of the game, again, you know, the beauty of Islam, end of the game, they apologized. You know, they sought each other's forgiveness and stuff, and that's good. But again, you don't forget. You want to control yourself.
Yeah, and also you just think to yourself, if that's my man's character, then
Yeah, but you're right. But again, you got to be forgiving your brothers.
Sahih.
Yeah. Be easy on the people, hard on yourself.
Sure.
But yeah, the point being, be hard on yourself, man. Any situations, be competitive, but you got to control yourself. You got to make sure you're keeping it within the boundaries of the deen. for your own izzah, and also to protect your brothers, man, from like your mouth,
Your
or
evil, your
evil,
evilness, yeah.
and you don't want to get involved in like, oh, he kicked me, let me kick him back, things like this. Like, you don't want to get involved in that. So yeah, it's important, man, because sport is good, but you can't go in there and just let your competitiveness take over, because that could be dangerous.
I know it doesn't relate directly because it's like more to do with knowledge, but I was always inspired when I first ever heard the quote, when I first ever heard somebody explain the character of Imam Shafi, who one of the most knowledgeable people, one of the most knowledgeable scholars of Islam, right? And an entire madhab was created like from Imam Shafi. And I remember somebody explaining him and said that he was strict on himself and soft on others. And because you just mentioned be harsh on yourself. Yeah. And every time, whenever that has never, I think about that in some capacity, probably weekly to some extent, like about that trait of Imam Shafi. Because I think to myself, always be like that. Always be strict on yourself with your character, with your iman, with your religion, with everything, and soft on others. And there's a lot of brothers in my life that are like that, where they might be like, if there's a fiqhi reason why something might be permissible, they'll use that fiqhi reasoning for somebody else. But for themselves, they fall into the hadith of, if there's a grey area, stay on the safe side of grey area. So example could be like praying in a masjid, right? So for them, I've noticed that the one brother I have in mind who's like, for himself, he's like, no, he takes the strongest opinion, which is like, it's farther for me to pray my salah in a masjid because I fall in the vicinity and for all X, Y, Z reasons, right? I, as a man, have to pray my 5 prayers in the masjid. But you don't ever see him go in, yo, how come you don't go in masjid? Like, because he'll be like, either if he really strongly believes it, he'll be like, there's an opinion, for example, that if you can't hear the adhan without a microphone, then he doesn't fall under all that kind of stuff. And so, and I love that. So that is a perfect example of someone like Imam Shafi. And you end up becoming like that person because you go, do you know what? This person's so soft, but then he's got such a great character that I want to be like him, and then you become strict on yourself. So it's got this ricochet effect.
Yeah, and also even if you want to say there's opinions where it's like it's not even a grey, that maslaha or something else, right? It's not a grey area. You could also just make excuses. Maybe he didn't do it because this happened.
He fell into.
He's got medical this. He's got this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's different things you could just make excuses for people, but 100% that principle. Another thing that I see is like people having conflict between like their rights, and Islam gives us the authority to regain our rights if they're trampled upon, for example.
Yeah.
Whether in this life or the next, in the akhirah, right? If someone takes away from your rights, you can claim it on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And people cling to that a lot, not realizing the barakah that can come from using that as an opportunity to forgive that person.
Yeah.
And just forgive them.
Yeah.
Even because they cling to, no, Islam guarantees me my rights, and this is my right to do this, and I'm going to get that right, and I'm going to hold that against you till Yawm al-Qiyamah, or just whatever until even in the dunya they might feel like they got back at them in some sort of way. Whereas it's just a great opportunity to just like earn reward by just forgiving it.
Well, Sheikh Muhammad Tim spoke about this exact thing on a podcast, Fresh Grounded. He said that the best relationships are when you're fighting to give somebody their rights and they're fighting to give you your rights. Yeah. So you don't care about your rights, they don't care about their rights. They just care about giving you yours, and they care about and you care about giving them theirs. And then what happens in that scenario is everybody gets their rights.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I think what most people will say back to that is, well, what happens when the other person is not like that?
Yeah, it takes two to tango.
They're actually pushing against me, and I'm regularly getting trampled on.
Yeah.
Again, I still think
forgive.
If you can train yourself to like, obviously not talking about like insane amounts of like pressure and stuff like that, but if there's like a little nudge here, little elbow there, little this and that, obviously metaphorically speaking, I think I'm talking to myself here first and foremost to train myself. I want to train myself to use those as just opportunity for ibadah, essentially. Yeah. So I've got someone's slightly oppressed me, slightly trampled on my rights in some sort of way, whoever it may be, someone I know, stranger, Muslim I don't know, do know. I could hold that and hold it within myself, but it is better for me to forgive that. And I can do that for the sake of Allah, and it's on my scale of good deeds. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's sometimes these sort of not... You got the option, because you do have the option to get your rights back. You do, right? But it is better to just forgive it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. You show mercy on others and Allah will show mercy on you. So you can't argue that. Speaking of showing mercy, we have a actually there's no transition here. I just wanted to
we talk about transition all morning.
I just wanted to bring in Musa into the discussion because we actually, you could say
non-resident Musa.
I just wanted to pick his brains because Musa has joined us for work experience. This is his second and final day. It's 2-day work experience. 40 hours in and out, bro. You know what I mean? Get him in, get him out. You know? How did you find it, bro? How has it been? And what are you looking forward to today? How did you find yesterday? What did we do yesterday? And if you want to mention the fact that I bought a fire blanket and a medical kit for the people in here because I care about everybody and I'm really empathetic, then you're more than welcome to.
I think it was good. It was to see like the behind the scenes of like what it takes to like run this podcast. Obviously, we went to look for chairs. That probably wasn't as exciting, but like it kind of gave me like what you have to do to like keep this up and running. And obviously, it comes at a cost. Like the chairs being all expensive and stuff. I think I also realized that. I also like even watching you guys work in the corners. Like it's not like a one-man job. Everyone has to work together, and I think that's very important. Like running these type of businesses. So I think I've learned.
Nice.
Importance of teamwork.
Yeah. About the fire blankets?
The team fire blankets were there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yesterday we took Musa to Dragon Mart to find some chairs.
To be fair, like it is an interesting, cause like most businesses will have that element that you don't get to see until you're working there. It's just like, no, we've got to like run to like this warehouse to get this thing.
Yeah.
Even though we're like a burger business, someone's got to run and get the stuff from warehouse. So it is.
It's part of it, yeah. Like,
it is a real part.
And you know, it was a task that needed to get done. And yesterday morning we had the time finally. Yeah. And so we went. But we didn't successfully get the chairs. But we did. I had been thinking the other day when the coffee machine was messing up, I thought to myself, I just had this intrusive thought. I was like, imagine it just like blows up. Like I don't have, and at that point we hadn't had our water tank yet. Right. So I was like, we wouldn't even have a way to put the fire out.
Would you put out a fire with a water dispenser?
No, you can't. But like, at least there's water in the room.
Can you imagine like a raging fire? Yeah,
just like press the button.
Like, hold on, should I go for the hot water? Cold water?
But the point is that we even didn't have water. Yeah. Like there was no way to put the fire out, right? Like that's bad. That's bad. Like we should get some kind of like that shouldn't even pass health and safety. So I was like, we should get fire blankets. So that was in my head. So then yesterday when we went to Dragon Mart, I made a point of buying a fire blanket. So that's right behind you.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay, next to my desk. Thank you. Just in case. I should wrap that around myself.
Yeah, I'm not putting the fire out. 1 meter by 1 meter. I thought we don't need a big one. If there's going to be
gather around, children.
Bro, the fire blanket's not for the person, bro. The fire blanket's for the fire. What do you think a fire blanket is?
Bro, it gets chilly.
Fire blanket's for fire.
I don't know.
Okay, so I thought if there's going to be a fire in this office, it's probably going to be a small one.
Hold on. I actually thought a fire blanket was for, let's say...
For people?
Yeah, because I thought, like, let's say, Allah forbid, you're in a fire,
and
you've got to go through like a burning hallway. You put the fire blanket around yourself and run through it.
Maybe it could be for that, but no. The primary thing is like, let's say, for example,
if a fireman's listening, just put it in the comments.
Let's say, for example, there's a fire on a stove.
Yeah.
Putting water over oil or something is not a good idea.
That's right.
Better thing to just put a fire blanket over it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what fire blanket is default for. But maybe there's an additional use case where you can put it over yourself to run out of a burning building. Maybe. Yeah.
I thought that was the main thing.
The use case that I was thinking about it was if the coffee machine goes on fire or something happens, we could put the blanket over the fire.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then I also as we were walking out, I saw a first aid kit, and I thought that. Oh yeah, like Omar had a first aid kit in his office, and we did actually use it once or twice. So that's probably a good idea. Is like you're in an office, be responsible, have a first aid kit, like whatever. I don't even know what's in it. It's still got the plastic behind it, so we don't even know what's in it. But enough to like if somebody hurts himself in the office, you can bandage them up or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So
good. No, that is good. That's mature of you.
Yeah. And Musa, do you want to talk about what the project is that you're working on for these 48 hours while you're here?
So throughout the day, or yesterday basically, I was filming what basically it includes throughout the day. So going to Dragon Mart, even in the studio. So I was just getting like little clips of like everything I was doing basically. And I was going to compile like a vlog at the end, like, what I did throughout my day. And then today I think I'm going to do the recording, like a voiceover. So I'm just going to create that as like a little project. So,
yeah. So we might even post it, like day in the life of a work experience, how you're going, this kind of thing.
That's good. That's good. And that, you know what, that's a very actionable skill that you should take away, if I can talk. It's like, because vlogging...
That's such a good point.
No matter what you're doing, like you said before, the doctor, he's essentially vlogging his day of finding out that AI is sick at that thing. Yeah. Right? And so it's applicable to...
He's vlogging his downfall.
Bro,
I'm being replaced. Let me film this as I contemplate how I'm going to put a roof over my head. Yeah. But you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, may Allah make it easy for him.
I
All
mean,
the doctors. But yeah, that's like a very transferable skill.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, so take that and like continue, bro. Even just vlog your life as a 17-year-old non-resident Dubai.
But yeah, in 2 years' time when you become 17. Yeah.
What?
He's 15,
You're
bro.
15. We were 17 years old. I don't even know this person. Man. I thought you were 17 and Dubai resident. You're none of these things.
But it's a really good point that Kai is making, because Musa is like really big on football and like plays football. Is that what you do with football players?
He's like, no, it's basketball.
Yeah. But like, again, like something that would separate you from everybody else, especially when it comes to like, everybody has socials now, everybody sees socials. So even like, day in the life of a semi-professional footballer, and it's game day today.
Yeah.
And it's like you film all these things and you go home and you put it together into a vlog, you post it. It's like it separates you from the other 21 people in your team because you've actually gone out and you filmed it and stuff like that, right? Provided provided there's a reserve team and a B team and stuff, right?
That's paying 20 aside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how people in a football team, right?
Yeah.
But bro, that's or whatever you end up going down. I do think that Kai's right. Like, just have it, especially the world of content creation is so prominent now, and also he was good at it. He produced the show last night, the Patreon show, and he's a natural speaker and stuff.
Bro, producing a podcast at the age of 15, that's incredible, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and the hardest part of this, like creating content, is usually the first piece of content, right, which you've done. It's you get over a little bit, not a little bit of cringiness of it maybe, and whatever. You break through that, and then, like, there's a guy, I don't follow, but again, the clips always come up. I think he's a Moroccan brother in the UK, AB something. I won't shout the full name out because it's a little bit, like, the content isn't 100% what we want it to be. But he vlogs his football, like he has someone on the sidelines filming him playing football, but he's got a mic on. Right, so he's quite funny on the pitch.
Oh wait, no, I have seen.
You know who he is probably, yeah. So you could do stuff like that, or some people wear the GoPro on them when they're playing. Just do that. Just vlog it.
Yeah.
It ain't got to be great content. It ain't got to be great. Just be consistent with it. Every week you upload a new one, bit of a voiceover. You get 20 views. One of them blows up. After 6 months, it blows up, and then everything's changed. Suddenly, Dubai resident.
I was thinking of like sometimes if I play with my friends, like 5-a-side, like just putting a GoPro.
Yeah, 100% do it.
Just have it on their chest.
It's like, what, like, why? Again, this is kind of advice to myself. Like, I do more content. Like, why wouldn't you just grab it, bro? Just do it. Like, just put it out there. Again, it might not do anything for 6 months. It might do a lot of stuff.
Especially if you're not shy to it. Like, I can understand if people are like, I'm not sure about putting my face out there. Fine, but if you're already past that and you're like, I'm cool with it, then just like, like you might as well get an advantage in life in that sense.
The GoPro when you play football ain't even your face either. It's just it shows your feet kicking a ball. And people like to see that.
There's another creator that I saw that I came across yesterday, which was I think he's like the Everton. He's a QPR football commentator for QPR, but like for their own website, internal channel. And it was just so funny watching because he does like a day in the life of like a professional football commentator, and like, but like he commentates but from his bedroom. It's like, not to mock it, but I would just say like I was imagining. But sometimes I think it's like if it's home games he does it from QPR. If it's away games he watches it and then he commentates live for the QPR channel. But he's just in his yard.
That's
bro.
funny, man.
And it was just interesting to watch. Yeah, but it was like, so, bro, like now I know he exists and because he created content by it, and you don't know who's watching things, bro. Like. There could be scouts watching, or there could be people who are looking for, Sky Sports are looking for a presenter for their new youth show, and it's like, oh, this guy's like perfect, like he knows how to. And bro, that's happened way more than you think. Like, I remember when we putting out Freshly Grounded, you don't really know who's watching. So first few times we found out that like this person watches or this person watches. It's quite interesting. COVID, we did that. So I remember finding out that the guys who started Just Eat, they listen to Freshly Grounded. I was like, oh, Just Eat's a big, business. And it's just like, gives you a little bit of validation. But also it's like, oh, you just don't know who's watching. Another time that kind of realization came to me was when I first toured with Mufti Menk, and then he came up to me, he was like, my children love Freshly Grounded, and they're always telling me that I should go on Freshly Grounded. I was like, whoa, like, I didn't know that. And then another one was, in COVID, I was like, man, I need guests because we just going to do loads of episodes. And so at that time, on Instagram, you could still scroll through all of your followers. I think you can't now. I think there's like a limit, or they only show you a certain amount. Like, let's say, but back then, I think if we had like 50,000 followers, you could actually look at each individual. And also back then, you only had a verified tick if you were genuinely famous.
Yeah.
And so in COVID, we must have had 50, 60, 70,000 followers at that point. And I was just scrolling through each one until I saw a verified tick, just to see like who actually follows Sexually Grounded, bro. And at that point, I realized so many people who are like, bro, I found some funny ones, bro. I'll tell you off mic. There's one person who followed us who's like probably one of the most famous people in the UK, but completely not someone who you would think that follows Sexually Grounded. But anyway, I have to show you off here because it's not even appropriate.
Interesting.
But bro, like the amount of footballers I found, that's how we found Danjuma. Through that, I was scrolling.
Oh, really?
I was like, who's this guy? I was checking everyone verified. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy plays for Netherlands International. He plays for Bournemouth. Dropped him a DM, hey man, appreciate it for. He's like, yeah man, me and the whole like me and my friends love the podcast. End up driving out to Bournemouth, visiting him, became like really good friends. But there's so many other people who, French players and basketball players, a lot of athletes, stuff like that. And you realize, I guess it kind of makes sense because if you're practicing Muslim, you don't listen to music, you're on plane journeys going from city to city to play matches. You're on coaches, you got to put something in your ears, right? And so, yeah, man, it was interesting. So the point in all of that is you don't know who's consuming your content and what advantages you can get and what leg up you can get. So you might as well just create.
100%. And this, I think, if you want to take anything away from your work experience, it's you should buy fire blankets. No, you should just do things, man. Just do things, because what you said is 100% correct. You don't know who's consuming it, and because it's a transferable skill, there could be someone who's like in your hometown. They've got a factory, but they want to start pushing social media content. They want to hire someone.
Yeah.
You keep coming up as the football guy. I play football at such and such town today. It's his town. Oh, this guy's like, he's doing the content. I like the way he's doing things. He's doing football stuff.
We need someone young. He knows what he's doing. How to create content.
He fits who I want. I'll hire him. I'll reach out to him and see if he wants to work in my factory as the social media guy. Do you know what I mean? It's very transferable like that. And that literally could be like I'll give you the manufacturing factory version of that. But it could be anything. Because that skill of you vlogging and being comfortable on camera is so transferable to any industry right now that the possibilities are just endless. So just doing things is really powerful. Don't fall into the trap that I fall into regularly, which is like, I'm probably doing enough and I don't need to constantly like put myself out there. But when you do that, there's so many opportunities. There's so many ways for you to pop up in random places and people to pop up for you in random places. So keep doing that, inshallah.
Yo. Come in. Omar has it. Oh, wow. And he's come with gifts yet again.
Yes.
Is that for us?
Omar's my favorite semi-guest.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry. You're my favorite human sometimes.
Wow. Is that genuinely
Paparotti?
Wow.
Come on, man.
O.C. as we're ending the app.
Yeah. No, this is not bad, man. Thank
Wow.
you.
Let's have a look. We were just ending the episode, but
This is perfect. Perfect.
So Omar meets Musa. Musa is Uncle Imran's son.
Wow.
Yeah. He's grown up. Yeah. He's work experiencing here for 2 days. Yep. Oh my goodness! Look at that.
That's what I'm saying.
Show the camera.
I did. That's, mate, diet gone.
Mate, diet gone.
Baked with love. Paparotti's up their game. They're up their branding game, you know.
This
Paparotti.
is amazing.
Oh, wow, it's good. Lotus.
Paparotti, yeah.
have.
But this is one of the first places I went to Dubai because Kaya introduced me to them.
Yeah.
Was it you?
I think so. Yeah, we went. But they've upped their branding for sure. These little boxes and stuff. The branding used to be like very average. Now it's like,
What are you going to
yeah.
do? What are you gonna do? Listen. Sulaiman is on a strict diet because he's getting married in 3 months.
No,
Let's
not
see if
today
he
you're not,
opens-
mate. Not today,
I'm not. You know what it is? I've been strict, so I've only got 2 months. Yeah, thank you.
Have a bite, man.
You got to have a bite.
The old paparotti.
No, you shouldn't. It's
Bro,
true. It's true.
maybe you haven't seen this stuff.
Yeah.
No, I can see it.
Yeah. That's fine. Just disrespect my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Anyway, we're ending the pod anyway, so it's a good time to end it. Thanks, guys, for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you guys next week, I guess. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks. Musa, wish you all the best in your future endeavours.
Yep, in London, not here.
Yeah. And
here
thanks for coming down for your work experience.
Thank you.
Thank
for having
you.
me.
No worries. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks, Sam.